I think we have to go back to, we have to, I mean, I'm not a, I'm not a sleuth or anything like that or a detective, but I think the time has come for us to revisit Prince Harry's exit speech when he left the UK 4 or 5 years ago. Let's hear
Tonight,
what
since he and his
this one
wife
has to
Meghan
say.
Markle received the Queen's blessings to step back as senior royal. Speaking at a dinner for a charity he founded to help children in Africa, Harry says he and Meghan felt they had no other option but to leave the royal family behind.
I must say that I can only imagine what you may have heard or perhaps read over the past few weeks. So, I
It's a
want
little
you to
long.
hear
We'll
the
talk
truth from
after.
me, as much as I can share, not as a prince or a duke, but as Harry, the same person that many of you have watched grow up over the last 35 years, but now with a clearer perspective. The UK is my home and a place that I love. That will never change. I've grown up feeling supported from so many of you, and I watched as you welcomed Meghan with open arms, as you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. Finally, the second son of Diana got hitched. Hooray. I also know that you've come to know me well enough over all these years to trust that the woman I chose as my wife upholds the same values as I do. And she does. And she's the same woman I fell in love with. We both do everything we can to fly the flag and carry out our roles for this country with pride. Once Meghan and I were married, we were excited, we were hopeful, and we were here to serve.
Okay, so you're probably wondering, why am I revisiting this? I'm not even sure. I just felt the time had come for me to go back to this and hear what Harry had to say about leaving the UK. Like, as things start to crescendo, and I'm just not sure where this is all heading for the royal family, for William in particular, and Kate in particular, but for the entire shebang, the whole thing. I'm not sure. Maybe nothing. Maybe we're all just being very histrionic. We're overreacting. Kate's fine. She's going to do a news conference by the end of the day. But just in case she isn't, um, and something untoward has occurred or some kind of wacko announcement is made, I kind of just wanted to go back again with fresh ears to hear what Harry had said when he actually left. Let's continue to listen.
That it has come to this. The decision that I have made for my wife and I to step back is not one I made lightly. It was so many months of talks after so many years of challenges. And I know I haven't always gotten it right, but as far as this goes, there really was no other option. What I want to make clear is we're not walking away, and we certainly aren't walking away from you. Our hope was to continue serving the Queen, the Commonwealth, and my military associations, but without public funding. Unfortunately, that wasn't possible. I've accepted this, knowing that it doesn't change who I am or how committed I am. But I hope that helps you understand what it had come to, that I would step my family back from all I have ever known, to take a step forward into what I hope can be a more peaceful life. I was born into this life, and it is a great honour to serve my country and the Queen. When I lost my mum 23 years ago, you took me under your wing. You looked out for me for so long, but the media is a powerful force. And my hope is one day our collective support for each other can be more powerful, because this is so much bigger than just us. It has been our privilege to serve you, and we will continue to lead a life of service. So in that respect, nothing changes. It has also been a privilege to meet so many of you and to feel your excitement for our son Archie, who saw snow for the first time the other day and thought it was bloody brilliant. I will always have the utmost respect for my grandmother, my commander-in-chief, and I am incredibly grateful to her and the rest of my family for the support they have shown Meghan and I over the last few months. I will continue to be the same man who holds his country dear and dedicates his life to supporting the causes, charities, and military communities that are so important to me. Together, you have given me an education about living, and this role has taught me more about what is right and just than I could ever have imagined. We are taking a leap of faith, so thank you for giving me the courage to take this next step. So,
And those were comments from Prince Harry.
Okay, so it went, that was, I guess, towards the end of the speech. It's very interesting because I have lately begun to think that I have lately begun to think that Harry's destiny with England is not over. But I'll tell you something, and I do know, I realize I go back and forth on this. 1 minute stay away, the other minute Harry's the next king of England. I don't think Harry can change what his destiny is completely, but he can refuse to participate in the sense that if things unravel the way I fear that they will, I could be wrong. I could be just, a histrionic middle aged woman with too much free time on my hands. But I do get a sense, and I have had a sense for a very long time, that Harry is the next king of England and that he's going to have to come back and literally pick up the throne and the shambles of it and you know be the king, and that it was his destiny. And I do realize how totally insane that is and how dramatic and melodramatic, but I have always felt that way. And when William started to act strange and and Kate disappeared, I was like, is this what's going to happen? Because I just always felt like something is going to happen. I don't know what it is, but something's going to happen. It's going to change the course of history. It's going to change everything with the monarchy, and Harry's the next king. So once that started to look like it was sooner rather than later, I started to be like, oh my God, Harry, you are the next king of England, but don't take the job. Don't get involved. Don't get involved. And my position on that is the same. I don't believe that Harry should accept um any such role of being the next monarch of England. But of course, I can't tell Harry how to handle if it's his destiny. You know what I mean? Um, I can't really tell him how to handle it. It's just that I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. I wouldn't get involved. If I were Meghan, I would not get involved for a very long time. I wouldn't even go back to the UK. Things would have to really be very settled and very, very different. And I don't know if it ever will be sufficiently settled and sufficiently different for me to brave going back into that environment. But I do feel, and even just listening back on Harry's speech, that there was just something in the air, and just like a karma, like something otherworldly was always present in this whole experience, in them leaving, and in just everything having to do with this story. The way that the oppositional forces are so incredibly strong here, that I always thought, no, this is not normal. Something is behind all of this. Something is behind all of this. And they are being tested to see how strong they are. Can they stand against these oppositional winds? And they did. They did with flying colors. They have passed the test, these two. But I'm still saying don't get involved. It doesn't matter what it is. You tell the destined giver, thank you, but no thank you, and stay in Montecito. But remember, you heard it here first. This man is the next king of England.